Hello, we are the Yahyel. We are the Yahyel, we are the Yahyel. Hello. We greet you, we say salutations from our ship to your reality, from our dimension of time and space to your reality, to this here and now co-creation between our civilization and your civilization. And we would like to share with you the understanding that you are your own reality, you are your own dimension, you are that which you perceive within you. And from this realization, from this understanding, we would like to proceed further down the timeline, down the progression of expression, of interdimensional quantum time travel, popping out of one location and popping into another location, much like the idea of the quantum leap that was discovered by your scientists, of one atom seemingly able to leap to another orbit within the molecule without the intervening time and space. It pinged out of one reality and pinged into another reality. It teleported, as we understand, by your scientists. It made a quantum leap. It was able to skip from one phase of reality to another phase of reality without the intermediate, without the space, without the time-space reality movement, slow movement from one reality to another reality. This began the experimentation, the exploration of the idea of quantum science, quantum mechanics, quantum physics in your reality. The exploration is on a very small level. Things do not operate in the way they operate in your perception of reality as you understand it. Time and space is malleable. Teleportation is possible. The idea of two things being in the same place at the same time. Of course, all things are in the same place at the same time. And this is the idea that you're coming to understand through your quantum science. As your consciousness evolves to explore your true nature, your true multidimensional, always here, always now, holographic reality, expression of consciousness, your quantum scientists are coming to realize the same expressions of consciousness under their microscopes, in their theoretical experimentations, in their physical, material, particle accelerator experimentations. They're coming to see that reality is much different to your old idea, your Newtonian physics. For we do not wish to demean, to put down your Newton. He was an incredible scientist. He made huge leaps and bounds in the civilization of your civilization into the idea that you can create reality, you can use the laws of mechanics, the laws of physics that are co-agreed upon in your reality to your advantage to build structures such as bridges, such as computers, electronics, mechanics, buildings. These ideas of mechanics in your reality that were so fundamental to the blossoming of your civilization from one scientist who incidentally came from the same location, Lincolnshire, as the channel. And now we are pushing new boundaries. We are realizing that this is just one expression of conscious. This is just one frame of reality. It is just one co-agreed upon reality. These ideas of Newtonian physics, they are not universal laws of creation. They are laws germane to your dimension of time and space. Your third, fourth dimensional time-space reality, your third density reality. These Newtonian physics ideas are germane to your third density reality. But as you know, you are shifting more and more into a fourth density reality. Your Earth plane, your Gaia, is already well grounded, well rooted in a fourth density reality. And you humans are, you could say, catching up. Catching up to the frequency, climbing the ladder of frequency, vibrational rising to a new dimension of understanding of who and what it is, your true nature, who and what your true nature really is, as the one infinite creator of all that is. And the beyondness, the beyond all of this, is your true nature. You're coming to understand this. And as you climb the ladder, as you climb out of third density into fourth density, the idea of fourth density reality, when you are much more accessible to fifth dimensional spirit consciousness, the idea of making quantum leaps from one part of reality to another part of reality, the idea that reality is not solidified as you previously thought, the understanding that your reality is not physical as you previously thought. It is being discovered by your scientists, by your quantum physicists. They are realizing this. They are realizing that you can be in multiple places at once. And it is only the idea of believing that you are in a certain place at once that locates you in that certain place at once. And you have co-created this in your reality. You have co-created it, the 7 billion plus beings on your planet. You co-created, you agreed to the idea that you would believe that you only existed in one location at once. But this is not how it is. And the quantum scientists are beginning to understand this. The equations that are so powerful for predicting the models of experimentation, these equations that are so powerful in your reality for predicting how systems move, how systems exist, how systems express in your reality. These ideas, these equations that are far more than just theory, because they are proving how models work in your reality. These equations are showing that you don't exist in one place at a time. They are showing that time is not linear. They are showing that it is equally as possible to move backwards in time as it is to move forwards in time. They are showing that you exist in multiple locations at once. And the idea of these experimentations, such as the double slit experimentation, we suggest you look it up, the double slit experimentation, it shows that the observer affects the reality. It shows that you affect your reality. It shows that particles can exist in a waveform in multiple places at once. Particles do not have an existence until you focalize them, until you believe them into reality. This is how your beliefs create your reality. You are the observer. You are the affecting instrument within the equation. This is why it is so complicated for some of your scientists to get their heads around quantum mechanics, quantum science, and they are still stuck in the Newtonian realm. They find it hard to believe because they do not understand that they are the effector of the experiment. It is almost impossible to carry out experiments in quantum physics because you affect the experiment. You create the experiment. The idea of experimentation is to create a environment, a closed system, where nothing can affect the outcome of the experiment outside of the parameters of the experiment. But this is not possible because you are one of the parameters of the experiment. You affect your reality. You create your reality moment to moment. And this is the idea of the double slit experiment. This is the idea of realizing that particles can exist as a potential in all places at once, and it is only when you are involved in the equation, it is only when the scientist is involved in the equation that the particle actually takes on form and exists in one place at once. And this is the idea that is being explored in quantum computing, and your scientists are making leaps and bounds towards creating a computer where the idea is that when in your standard computers, the idea is that they work digitally, the idea of on and off, positive and negative, active and inactive. The idea of binary computing is that your electrical particles, your photons, either light up or do not light up your circuits. They're either on or off. But the idea, the quantum realization that your scientists have had now through ideas such as the double slit experiment is the idea that particles can exist in more places than once. So if they can use this realization, use this potentiality of reality, potentiality of multiple dimensions all existing here and now in this moment. They can use this to create a computer where on and off exist simultaneously. You do not need to either have your photon either activating on or off. You can activate both at once, and this is the idea of quantum computing, and this is the idea that your scientists are tapping into in your reality at this moment. To experience reality in a mind-blowing way, these scientists that are working on these quantum computers, their reality has well and truly been blown out of the idea of third density. You cannot be working on a quantum computer and believe you're in a third density of reality of Newtonian physics and Darwinism and these outdated ideas of who you are and evolution. For when you are working on a quantum computer, you see that reality is very different, very different, very different to what your textbooks taught most of you growing up in your schools. The idea of Newtonian physics. Action and reaction. It is all. Action and reaction are one. There is only oneness. The action and the reaction are not separate. The action and the reaction are multidimensional realities, all one. Two sides of one coin, all exist now. Causality is an illusion of your reality. Causality is an illusion of coming into a time-space reality. Causality is an illusion of you, an illusion created within your consciousness. Action-reaction is not really real. It is only real because you believe it is real. You have chosen to co-create in your reality these third, fourth dimensional laws of action and reaction, causality, the idea that one thing affects another, but one thing does not affect another from the ultimate nature of reality, from the true nature of reality. It is just happening. It is just frequential expressions of consciousness in your reality. And the idea is that according to your quantum physics calculations and according to the way that we understand reality and according to the way that many of you are coming to understand reality, the idea of causality and the idea of action and reaction can actually be reaction-action. It can actually reverse quite as easily according to your understanding of the quantum mechanics. The idea of the quantum scientists are coming to understand that action-reaction could actually be reaction-action according to their calculations. And this is because they are starting to realize through their experimentations and through their quantum mechanical calculations and their mathematical explorations of the nature of reality, they're coming to understand that time is not linear. Time can move in any direction potentially. It is only the co-creation that you come together on this planet to create in your minds, the agreement. You came into this reality, you came into certain agreements. You agreed to gravity, you agreed you would not all fly off your planet into time and space. But this is not necessarily true. You could have agreed to a reality where gravity didn't exist and you all just floated off, but it would be pretty hard to experience what you came here to experience, so you agreed upon gravity. In the same way, you agreed upon causality. You agreed upon the dimensions of time and space and that time would move forward linearly and your clocks would only go forwards, your clocks would not go backwards. But according to these equations of the quantum physicists, they have come to understand that clocks could equally as opportunely go backwards. And this is true because this is how nature works, because they have tapped into the substratum, they are tapped into the quantum equations of reality, they are tapped into a truer nature, a truer expression of consciousness. And this is a reflection. This is a reflection of the evolution of consciousness. For without the understanding within yourselves that you are infinite beings, without the understanding in yourselves that everything exists here and now, and that you are holographic, that nature of reality is holographic, the universe is holographic, without this understanding that all parts are contained within every part of the hologram, all parts are contained within every part in the universe, all parts are contained within you, God was in you, you are within God, all is here and now. You are infinite consciousness having an expression in this reality, in this time-space reality, as a kind of shard of the mirror, as a kind of crystallized form, a crystal, refracting the light, the dimensional light of your infinite being, all densified down into this one focalized reality where you believe you are time and space, you believe you are gravity, you are believing in causality, but it is not true. And the idea is that the quantum physicists are coming to understand this because they are a reflection of you. They are a reflection of you. They are a reflection of your consciousness expanding. The beings become enlightened on your planet. The beings becoming aware on your planet of who they are. The beings becoming expanded on your planet into infinite reality. The beings coming onto this planet are affecting your co-conscious creation. They are affecting your agreed upon reality. They are affecting the mind subconsciously of all beings on your planet. Every being that pops out of the identification with the physical mind, every being that pops out of the identification with the body as the true self, as the true nature, is affecting the collective mindset of the entire planet. Is affecting the collective mindset of your entire civilization. And as you come to understand that you are infinite possibility, as you come to understand that you exist in all places at once, as you come to understand that all is within you and you are within the all, and all is one, and all is here and now, and you can be in two places at once. You have come to reflect this back to you in the idea of quantum physicists. They are coming to understand it because all is a reflection of you. You couldn't come to these quantum realizations of the nature of reality and how two particles can exist in two places at once, and they can exist in many places at once, and they can affect each other from one side of the universe to another side of the universe without any intervening communication, as your Newtonian physics would expect it to happen, as your Einstein was slightly confused about, for he did not come into the understanding that all is one, all is here, and all is now, and all is holographic. And this is what was struggling with his equations. He believed too much in causality. He believed in too much in reaction and action. He believed too much in the physical dimension, but he was beginning to push the boundaries. He was beginning to understand how reality is formed. He was beginning to understand, but he couldn't quite push through the barriers of the idea of third density reality, because he was existing in a time when you weren't collectively pushing the barriers of third density into fourth density and experience and the creation and the understanding that you are the infinite one. But now, as you evolve, as many of you are bursting out into your infinite nature, into the infinite bliss of all that is, you are coming to see that anything is possible, that you can move back and forth through time and space. You can move from one location of time and space to another. You can move into any reality you wish, moment to moment. It is this understanding we would like you to ponder upon. We suggest you look into some of these quantum physics experimentation, such as the double slit experiments. We suggest you ponder this. We suggest you meditate on this. We suggest you come to understand this. And how can these quantum slit experiments prove, show, suggest strongly that the observer creates the reality, that particles can exist as infinite potential in multiple places at once until the observer observes the reality, until you create your reality, until the scientist affects the experiment, until the scientist becomes the experiment, until the scientist realizes that he is the creator of his own reality. And you can really prove anything you wish in a scientific experiment, because if you believe it is true, you will believe it into existence, and you can prove anything. And this is the idea that your beliefs create your reality. So we suggest you look deeply into these ideas of quantum science, quantum mechanics. We will sign out from this call for now, in the understanding that you can meditate upon this. You can try and wrap your minds around it, but not too much, because you will feel it more in your heart, you will feel it more in your beingness, you will feel it more in your soul, in the idea of co-creating a new reality, a new hyperspace dimensional reality. Well, hyperspace is a state of being, and it is when you get your head around these ideas, and it is when you melt and merge into these ideas, you will feel the hyperspace state of being as your true state of being. And we will communicate more in the next segment of this call. Have a great day, humans. Shibai.